Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you very much. So thank you very much for joining the Wellness Real Estate panel session. So my name is Stella. I'm the director from the Fonto Pillar, a developer in San Francisco and Hong Kong developer with projects mainly in the Bay Area. So we may bring more wellness real estate projects to Asia and Southeast Asia. So we would like to welcome two guests from Netherlands and Angel from Hong Kong. So Felix is the CEO and co-founder of Clarify, and Menno is the founder of the PropTech for Good, and Angel from Hong Kong is the sustainability lead of CHFT. So to start our panel discussion today, I would like to bring up a questions to all of you is that could you please explain what is wellness real estate and in what way can wellness be improved at home, offices, and hotels? Who would like to take the lead to answer these questions first?
Shall I start?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Menno.
Okay. For me, wellness real estate is it already says it. You know, wellness is doing well. So well means well for the people, but also well for the environment. So also with all the users. And I think that wellness can be approved in homes and offices and hotels in different ways. Of course, the comfort level, the heating and ventilation, the air quality, indoor and outdoor air quality, but also food, for example. If you eat healthy, you also create wellness. The lighting is very important, but also time and the possibilities to de-stress, for example, doing yoga or the possibility to dance. Colors can do a lot of things, and probably you're more familiar with that in Asia with Feng Shui. Of course, when you have purpose for life, it will help you also to be in an environment. You have dinners with each other. That will help. The natural materials, and of course, trees. There is a great rule: 330 and 300. So when you look outside and you can see at least 3 big trees, and you're in a neighborhood with 30%. And you will be in a good park, that will increase also your wellness as a person. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, after you.
I think wellness in real estate is actually the next big challenge and step to involve the experience of the tenants on a broader level. Whether you're looking to homeowners, to people who go to the office. Wellness should be indeed, like Menno said, about connecting the body and mind in the spaces and make them thrive, which is also why it's become such a critical part in, for example, return to office strategies. Now expectations of tenants have drastically shifted and everybody experienced the comfort from home. That to me is also a very interesting question to ask ourselves, like, why do we like to work from home? And I think the biggest things that contributes to that thought is comfort. The comfort that we experience of being in our own space, the comfort to be able to grab a coffee whenever you want, or to stand on the balcony or in your garden, whatever, to free your mind and let it drift off from work and be able to connect better and more productive way afterwards with yourself. The comfort of not being stuck in traffic, all these kinds of things. And which is why it is quite a necessity that when you look at real estate in general, the thought of creating more comfort for tenants and therefore for their mental well-being and physical well-being is becoming so critical, because people want it and need it, and otherwise they are less likely to return to your building. So that's my initial take on the topic.
Yeah, I agree. And to me, I think wellness real estate is a series of construction, service, and program design that aims to improve people's health physically and mentally. Especially there's more research proving that the environment, material used to build our house or office, the surrounding area could be influential to our health, as well as our activities. If a facility or property is built with consideration to improve air and water quality, maximize the daylight, make adjustment to reduce noise, provide enough space to encourage movement, cares about the mental needs of people, then I think they are regarded as wellness real estate.
Yes, that's a very that will be a very insightful sharing. And so, but what are the benefits of real estate and why are they important? Maybe Menno can share some insights with us.
Yeah, currently, you know, we're disconnected in that way with men and women and the left and the right brain and the inner and the outer world and people and nature. But I believe when you have wellness as a person, healthy people or wellness people create also a healthy business, so a good business. When you are healthy and being and have a good well-being, that also influence society and also environment. And I think right now a lot of people are not well, or there is something we don't know. So maybe you have medicine, or you are struggling with your weight or something like that. I think that will reflect on where we are right now with our society, with our environment, our relationship with nature and the environment. So the big benefit is wellness real estate create wellness people create wellness business, society, and environment. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's true. So Angel, do you have anything to share with us for the importance of wellness real estate as well?
Yeah, I agree with Menno saying that it's good for the society. And I think and also as well as for the health of the people, because you are spending most of the time indoor, especially like during COVID, then you are staying indoor to avoid any infection. And like I think for companies like people after COVID-19, the workers nowadays we think about their pay, job satisfaction, health, safety, as well as their career choice. And I think a wellness working environment provide with wellness programs or space for colleagues to move around, fitness centers, or collaborative atmosphere, which shows the company's care to the employees, which in turn helps to foster an employee's sense of belongings and also lower their turnover rate, which is good for the company in the long term. And I think for economically, it's also welcomed by companies because a healthy working environment promote their employees' productivity, lower their risk of widespread of disease because like better air ventilation, and also it does reduce the loss day due to sickness. So economically, it is beneficial to office and for the companies as well.
Yes, well, I see. So this is quite insightful speaking. And so Felix, so this question for you is, how do you think that technology can help to support the growth of wellness real estate? Do you have any examples to share with us?
Yeah, I think this is I think for this question we have to go a step back. If you look at how the influence of technology on the world has been in the last 2 decades, it's been quite drastic. Because previously there was less insight in general in the building, so it was harder to tell in any way why certain complaints were coming to the surface. To give you an example, in 1987, it was the World Health Organization that stated that over 30% of buildings cope with sick building syndrome, which covers actually all the complaints that we experience while being present in the space for a longer time, which means the exposure to bad indoor air quality, uncomfortable temperatures that are present, and all kinds of other side factors that could influence your mind or directly your body, from irritated skin to headaches to catching flus easier on. The list goes on. I think now, since technology has caught up and IoT, for example, the Internet of Things, has provided actually a deeper understanding of how buildings are performing, we are more able to grasp what's going on in the building, and therefore being able to understand better where complaints are coming from and how we are able to solve them to improve the whole tenant experience. So IoT on itself is not a new thing. It's been coming up, I think, since around 2012. Around that time, the first initial projects came to work, but now, of course, with 5G, it accelerates even more and more. I think real estate on itself is a sector that has a big opportunity here and needs to move, actually, because it's very slow in adapting new innovation. It's very conservative, and its innovations are primarily pushed by either black swan events, such as COVID, or by regulation. And that means that now it's actually kind of a perfect storm, because both these things come together. The expectations from the tenants have drastically changed because the concerns of a worldwide pandemic are huge. So that reflects that there is different responsibilities coming to the table for the asset managers, the building owners, as well as the property managers that work for them. And simultaneously, there's also a drastic need for this new data. And I think we zoom in on this a bit further with regards to ESG as a whole. But the need to be able to cover yourself with data and to show that the environment in which your tenants are working in is good, is becoming more of a critical importance, as well as that it can support the broader goals of creating better building efficiency, lowering energy and maintenance costs. All these kinds of things next to tenant experience are intertwined as well. They link together, they stick together. I think therefore it's a very interesting time right now.
Yeah, I see. This is a really many elements put together to make this real. So I think Menno has some examples to share with us as well, that the technology can help to support the growth of wellness real estate as well.
Yeah, in general, I agree with Felix. We can create so much great insights with the digital technology. The indoor air quality, which is failing doing itself with this company, of course, but also creating that comfort with the HVAC system, for example, with companies like Delta Q or Brainbox AI. But also we're going to use technology also to create net zero architecture, natural materials being used or shaped in a way that we can have the most sun to use solar panels. So there's a lot of technology which support it. I think also city will be there will be a lot of technology, digital technology, to help to redesign a city. I see it here in the Netherlands, but also in Europe. But there are some great examples, for example, in Seoul, in South Korea, and probably also all around the world, to get rid of the cars and give the city back to people and nature, so that their technology can also help. And I want to change in that way the narrative also to PropTech a bit, because PropTech is very focused on digitalizing of the current situation in real estate and construction. But I think technology should be broader than digital, and also learning from nature. So the biomimicry movement. I always make a joke about the Internet of Nature. That's a serious topic, by the way. even persons get promotion on the Internet of Nature to take care of nature as an ecosystem, but also, you can plant a tree, but it's not about planting trees, it's taking care that the tree will thrive and create a lot of benefits. And we can use technology for that, for example, from using satellite images to see where are a lot of green, where is less green, or where is green being removed. And I think we have to see it as a whole, as a system, and not only one department or one point solution, but making more connections as a web and being connected. But that will be a challenge, because holistic things ask for partnerships and not only about transaction. And we're very focused on creating transactions, and that's where we grow up. But I think we have to to think in systems, and technology will help us with that.
Yeah, that is really challenging. So Angel, as there is a growing concern of the corporate ESG performance, how does wellness real estate relevant to those ESG reporting things?
First of all, ESG represents environmental, social, and governance of a company, and company needs to report need to disclose their performance in these three aspects. And I think for social part, we've talked a lot about like the corporate's turnover rate or loss rate of their employees. And for a company that focus on wellness, I think they foster the employees, their commitment to the company, and also like some like improve the air conditions in indoor, or water quality is also help to reduce the spread of disease in their company, in their buildings. So it help to reduce the loss rate of employee due to health or injuries reasons. And this is obviously it is good for the company in their reputations. And also it can demonstrate this wellness measure demonstrate companies' commitment to employees' health and well-being, and help to retain top talents and lower their turnover rates. And on the environmental aspect, I think wellness real estate seems to emphasize mainly on promoting people's wellness, but actually at the same time, it also promotes the efficient use of resources and energy through water management, thermal zoning, requires the property to let more natural light come into indoor, improve air quality, such as minimizing VOC and greenhouse gas combustion for wellness purpose, which is indeed in line with improving environmental performance of a company. Yeah, and actually quite a lot of company nowadays are now highlighting their efforts in promoting wellness in their ESG report to increase their reputation and demonstrate their commitment in improving ESG performance.
So thank you, Menno, Felix, and Angel's insightful sharing on the development and the current situation of the wellness real estate. And I do believe that will be shaping the trend of property technology in the future. And we're defining the definition of real estate is definitely related to wellness. We'll be focusing on this direction. So thank you all for watching, and hope to see you next time. Thank you.